feedback against our pressure to pass, but you're gonna get really flexible guys who play guard a lot, who when you push them like this, no, don't even do that. They just hang out. They're just like, yeah, I'm comfortable here. I am not gonna give you any feedback because they know that when they push back, they might be vulnerable to something, so they just chill. That's okay, because what I've done is I've created, notice how his hip is sort of off the mat? I'll be on my toes, I'll have my hips in, I'll have my elbows in, and when I feel that he's not giving me any feedback, I'm gonna recognize that he's made his body into a single unit. When his legs start moving around, now I have less control of his body. But when his legs are pinned here, I'm basically gonna just turn a steering wheel and it's gonna turn his entire body. Right? So it's the same pass, I'm just not gonna have to do as much pushing this way or stepping this way. As soon as I feel that he's not moving, I just take a slight step and I settle right down. The downside of this is you're going to run into much better structure. Because if he pushes back on me, push back the legs, then his structure's broken and I'm probably going to get to his hip. If I just do this, his structure's probably not going to be broken. He still has knee elbow connection, so he's got frames against me, which means he's probably going to be able to at least attempt a regard. So this is now where we need to start getting into how you seal a guard pass, because believe it or not, like right now, I have not passed his guard. This is cosmetically I've passed his guard, like I beat his legs, but if you look at the guard, or the guard pass rather, not from a points perspective, because you know, in a jiu-jitsu tournament, they'll give you points for this a lot of the time. But from a fighting perspective, or just like, you know, a pure jiu-jitsu effectiveness perspective, the guard is what? It's a range management tool. So I may have beaten his frames at his legs, but I haven't beaten his frames at his arms. And as long as he has good, what we call knee elbow connection, so good structure here, he can just funnel me right back or go to the underhook, right? So he can funnel me back to his guard, or he can go to the underhook at this point because he's still got a really excellent structure. So a lot of people, sometimes they get past the legs kind of, but they don't really know how to settle the side control. Again, like how often have you passed someone's guard and they just kind of shrimp, hip escape, get their knee back in? This is very, very common. And the reason that's happening is A, the structure, posture, base is still intact. So we're 3-3 right now. I have base, posture, structure. He has base, posture, structure. So I need to break his structure, his posture, his base. Base I'm not very likely to be able to break because he's on his back. Posture, I can't get to his neck because he's got frames in the way. So structure is what I'm going to attack. I'm going to go to the toes here and to the shoulder here. And I'm just going to flatten my. I know it seems like incredibly simple, but to seal the side control, what you need is opposite corner control. So I need to control this corner and this corner. If I control these two things, I'm going to have an effective side control because go to turn into me, he can't do it. All right? If I go here, go to turn into me, see, he's immediately effective. The other thing, the other corner is this one. If he wants to hip escape and put this knee in, he can do it. But if I control this corner, even if I don't control that one, he'll never regard that way. So I have to control these two corners, basically. You can control other corners, you can control just the hips here as well, but you have to control two corners, and the most effective way is to control the opposite corners, like this. So the near hip and the far shoulder are the two main ones. Then, if I can control this corner too, now you're really screwed. We'll get into that a little bit later. So we're gonna use this variation on the pass to introduce the idea of opposite corner control. So he's not gonna give me any feedback. I'm just pushing him, damn, he's not moving. Okay, I step and I turn him like a steering wheel. I'm gonna drop my knee against his hip and I'm gonna slip this hand inside his structure. Because he's expecting me to do what? He's expecting me to go for this. Normally when I pass the guard, where do I want to get? I want to get here. So good guys are defending that. They're defending this. They're not doing this, by the way. This is one of my pet peeves because a lot of people learn this. I used to do this all the time. This doesn't work very well against good people because this is the arm that he needs to deny me the crossface. If I want a crossface and I just cut my hip, one, I might break his wrist. Two, his head is completely undefended. Right? Also, if he wants to be mobile, he needs to get onto this side for base. He's trapping his own post right now. So he's too far away to underhook me, so I don't even have to worry about the underhook. I can hang out here, I can cut this knee out like this. He keeps his hand posted here, I can cut it like this. Because I've got my hand on his hip, or especially if I get my hand in here, or any kind of connection here, like from here, I'm guaranteed to pass because I'm a believer to his shoulder. And now what do I have? I have opposite corner control. So he can't effectively turn in or away. So I don't like this. I know it's taught in every like fundamentals class, and this is just a philosophical difference that I have with the way that this stuff is usually taught. This is fine if I got here and you want to try to create some space and get back to guard, but I see a lot of people, as soon as they get their guard passed, they react by going, ah, like that, and then the guy just cuts his hips, and now you're basically defenseless. So if you know how to do that, this whole stiff arm against the hip thing kind of goes away really quickly. So again, going back to the formula of kind of what's going to work for you at the high level, if he's trying to block my crossface, so now if I try to seal the guard pass, I'm going right into his concept of good defense, which is he's still got his frames. I'm trying to attack him without breaking good structure, good posture, good base. So we're at 3-3, and what am I actually doing? I'm breaking my structure. And so that's why he won that exchange. I went from 3-3 to 3-2. So when I get here, I'm just going to recognize that I can't win here, so I'm going to slip inside here. And even if he blocks his bicep, because I've got, especially if I just make a grip on the collar, and I grab at the end of the foot, a common error here is to go like this. And now, to push me away, yeah, his leg's stronger than my arm. But if I go to the end of the lever, and he goes to push, he's just bringing himself into side control. So you can use this now, or you can use this, let's say I passed his guard, and he hip escaped, and he got his knee back in. Ah, damn it, I'm about to go back into his guard. Oh well, I'm tired, let's reset to here and play from here. Don't ever do that. I gained ground, I don't want to give it back. As soon as this comes in, I grab his toes, and I grab this collar. If you're not working in the gi, you try to grab the neck here. You can even try to grab the rib cage. You can put your hand down. Like the individual aspects of the technique matter less than the fact that I create some kind of counterpoint here and just push his toes away from me and occupy the space that's been opened up by him. So once more, I go here, he doesn't react. I turn, I grab the toes, I grab the collar, and I just turn, I get my hip against his hip. And now I effectively pass the guard. Everybody got that?